Welcome to Dramatic Pause, a Rose Theater podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking with Mandy Alexiak, the Audience Services Director, about why membership is the best way to come to the Rose and what to expect when you're returning for shows this fall.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking to Mandy Alexiak, who is the Director of Audience Services here at the Rose and is our resident membership expert. So welcome, Mandy. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your job and how long you've been at the Rose?
Absolutely. I have been at the Rose since September of 2000, which would make this upcoming season my 20th year here at the Rose. I am the Audience Services Director, and that means that I am in charge of the front of house staff and a member of the marketing team, and ultimately in charge of our membership program.
That is awesome. Okay, so now kind of being in charge of all that stuff, and we're walking into a new season that's looking different than maybe what any other season has really looked like for us. What are some of the major benefits of choosing to be a member for the specific season?
You know, one of the best things about being a member is that what you're doing is you're investing in the cultural icon that is the Rose Theater. Not every community has a children's theater or a place for, that inspires young minds. And when you become a member, you are helping support that programming all year long. Our membership this year is very different than it's been in years past, in part because we are having fewer shows with longer runs to help accommodate socially distanced seating. So because of that, we have lowered the prices, and it's never been more affordable or accessible to be a member.
Okay, yeah. So we also have some different types of memberships as far as we have 4, 5, and 8. And can you kind of just talk us through a little bit what those differences are and how families might make the choice for what size is best for them?
Absolutely. So for those families who are trying to decide what size package to get, first, you should know that anyone 2 and under can sit on the lap for free, provided that they stay on a lap for the entire performance. So if you have an infant, that person does not need a ticket until they are 3 years of age. So a lot of times, the other way to determine if you are saying going from a 4-person package to a 5-person package is to determine if all 5 people are going to come all the time. Sometimes our shows are, if you have an older child, they'll opt out of the younger shows. Sometimes for the older shows, the youngest child will opt out. And some families can get by, with that 4-person membership instead of needing a 5-person membership. So we have a 4-person, 5-person, and an 8-person membership, and or a double family. And how that works is if you are planning, okay. So let's say you have a family of 6. If you have a family of 6 and you plan to bring them to all 4 shows, it's more affordable to become a double family member and have those extra tickets to invite cousins, friends, or grandparents than it is to pay for the extra member ticket for those 2 additional family members. So we find that if you have a larger family like that, you always have friends or others hanging around, and then you can just bring extras.
Okay, yeah, that brings up a really good point of the idea that these tickets are not solidified into one person. If mom comes the first time, that doesn't mean mom has to come every time, right?
Correct. You can bring 4 different people each and every time on your family membership. So that means that even if you have a show that doesn't interest your family, you as the member can make a reservation for someone under your membership, and then when they come, they would just check in using your name and membership credentials. So the tickets are transferable, and that's a really great way to help share a show experience with shows if perhaps it doesn't interest your family. So yes, a 4-person membership, you can bring different people each and every time, and that goes for all the memberships, 5-person and 8-person.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool bonus of the Rose membership, which you don't get everywhere. So very cool. And I understand too that members have priority booking. And can you kind of talk about what that means?
Yes, absolutely. So priority booking means that our single tickets are not yet on sale. So currently now through August 13th, members have first crack at tickets. So they get priority booking. Similarly, our premium event in June is Disney's The Descendants. And currently those tickets are only on sale for members.
Sure. So if you have your dates in mind, or you're the type of family who, always wants to be coming on Sundays at 2 or anything like that, you can become a member and book those tickets ahead of when single tickets would go on sale, which is August 14th, right?
Exactly.
Perfect. Right. That's awesome. And that includes Disney's Descendants this June 2021, which is our big premium event. And that we're thinking is going to be very popular. We've had a lot of calls already, so that's super exciting. And another great perk of being a member.
And in fact, members get a discount on those Disney Descendant tickets. They save $7 per ticket for those tickets.
Awesome. And that's actually the only show this year that members would have to purchase additionally beyond what's included in the membership. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. In fact, we are planning that by the time June 2021 rolls around, that we will be back in a more normal world. So that show does feature what we call typical reserved seating. The member shows this year are not reserved.
Right. Yes. And I'm actually excited to get into that a little bit with you, because we're coming back for a different season, but we're also coming back to a different feel than what you might expect from previous times here. We're trying to do some more safety protocols and that kind of thing. And so what can people expect when they come back to the Rose as far as safety during this time?
Oh, great question. So we have actually put a lot of thought into the safety of our family, our performers, and our staff. And the first thing that we will highlight is that we will have, of course, enhanced cleaning procedures to all high-touch areas, including door handles, bathrooms, railings, etc. When you come to the theater, there will be touchless ticketing. So normally we have tickets at the will call that then we have a volunteer scan in. And what happens this year is that when you get to the door, you will find a staff person there with a list, and they will find your name on the list. And then at that point, you can choose to either sit in the main floor or the balcony, and you'll be directed to those areas, which I'll get to the seating in just a second. We are requiring masks in our building. When you are walking through the building or getting to your seat, we are requiring masks. You may take your mask off during the show when you are safely seated in the auditorium, but then during dismissal, we are asking that you put your mask back on. We are doing one-way entries and exits. We are limiting we are limiting some of what usually is found at our theater shows, including booster seats and concessions. For this year, we are not doing either of those things because of safety. And then the biggest thing that we are doing, of course, is our socially distanced seating.
Right. Yes. And we did have a story that talked a little bit about the 5 on a dice is kind of how we're going to be seating people, and there'll be ushers helping you. But do you want to just kind of walk us through sort of what that's going to look like again for those who maybe didn't catch the story or, would love a refresher?
Absolutely. So we had a story featured on WWT Channel 6 that if you caught, you heard me talk about how we're seating people, if you can imagine, like a 5 on a dice. So on the first row, we are going to have a family sit on either end of the aisle. And then in the middle row, we are having a family sit in the middle. And then in the row behind them, we will have a family sit on either end of the aisle, moving back through the auditorium. Our capacity is usually around 1,000, and with socially distanced seating, our capacity is between 240 and 250, depending on if families book in the most exact perfect way and everyone sits where I need them to sit. I will say that in terms of socially distanced seating, if you have any special needs, which is hearing impairment, visual impairment, or physical impairments, it's important that you call and tell the box office so we can save you seats on the main floor that would accommodate your requests.
Sure, right, because specifically those ushers will be basically filling front to back, right? So if there needs to be a space left open, we just want to make sure we do that prior to.
Exactly. This seating is what I called directed seating. So it's not general admission. It's not reserved seating. Families will have the choice between sitting in the balcony or the main floor. So there is at least some choices there. But then once you get directed to those areas, you will be directed where to sit by the staff person.
Okay, great. And then what will dismissal look like?
That's a great question. So after the show, we don't want to ruin all of our good work by having everyone stand up and leave at the same time. We're going to dismiss in what I call wedding style. If you've been to a wedding and they have ushers that then go along row by row and tell you that now's the time for you to exit the aisle, we will be doing that. Now, we have a long-standing tradition here at the Rose, which is question and answers. We always encourage children to ask any questions for any of the theater magic they may have seen on stage, and we answer those questions. So if you would like to participate in Q&A, you just tell the usher that you are going to participate and you will stay in your same seats.
Sure, and that's also different than usual because generally we ask them to come to the front, but for safety this year, we're asking them to stay where they were previously seated.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, but then for everyone who is just planning to head out, they'll be dismissed by an usher, and then they'll leave out that one-way exit. Is that right?
Correct, yes. That also means that the other long-standing tradition that we have, which is autographs with the actors, will be suspended this year, but we are very much looking forward to bringing that back in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I understand we won't have printed programs this year, but it sounds like there'll be a digital version that was available last year and will be more widely available this year on the website and such things like that for anyone who's kind of wondering about those kinds of touch points. But then for anyone who's maybe not quite ready to come back to the theater to come and see a show in person, this year we have a very special membership for them as well.
Absolutely. So for the first time ever, and we're hoping that this is in fact a limited program, is we are offering a digital membership. So of the 4 member shows, which the 4 member shows include Penguin Problems, It's a Wonderful Life, How to Build an Ark, and Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, we have gotten permission to record the first 3 of those shows. So Penguin Problems, Wonderful Life, and How to Build an Ark. Now, our video will in fact be a 3-camera setup, and it will be professionally edited. And anyone who has a streaming membership will be sent a unique link that will allow them a one-time view of the show. Now, Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus is still up in the air. We have asked for those rights, and we have not gotten a yes, but we have also not gotten a no. So if we get a yes, it will be included in the digital membership. And if we get a no, then we will likely offer discounts to those digital membership ticket holders. I guess there's not tickets. It's streaming. We will offer discounts to those families to let them decide if they have a comfort level to coming to see that show in person. We're hoping that even maybe by March 19th that, you know, we're prepared to be flexible with the change of times. So if our rules relax, we will try to accommodate more families.
Sure, absolutely. That totally makes sense. So anyone out there listening, cross your fingers, send some good vibes about maybe getting Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus on that list as well. But it still sounds like a great lineup for a digital membership if that's something that is more to your comfort level at this point.
Absolutely. And you know, Melissa, the one membership that we didn't get to talk about but is so important is our patron level membership.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Please tell me what that's all about.
Yeah, our patron membership is $400, of which $295 of it is tax deductible. And what that membership does is it helps us spread the word in the community for families who couldn't otherwise afford to attend. So the Rose does offer scholarship memberships. We offer outreach in terms of community complimentary tickets to social service agencies. We do our best to try to make the Rose as accessible as possible. So those who are a patron member helps us do this kind of work. The benefit to patron membership is that you get 4 tickets to the regular season shows. You also will receive a backstage private event for how to build an ark. The details for that is still being determined. And you will also receive 8 flex passes. And the flex passes can be used in any combination for the regular season show. So you could, in fact, give your 8 flex passes to your coworker, and they can use those flex passes entirely separately from your membership. Or you can choose to bring 8 guests to Penguin Problems and be done with them, or you can use them 2 tickets at a time for all 4 shows. So they can be used in any combination, which is a really nice perk. So yes, we love our patrons, and if you have the means to support us in that way, we would love to have you.
Definitely. We have some warm and fuzzies for our patrons. And actually, Mandy, you are usually very involved with the patron event. And I can tell you from experience, Mandy puts on a fun event. And I have no doubt that even if it's a socially distanced event, it will still be a fun time for sure. So yes, if that's something you can do, we would love to have you reach out in that way. But there could be some families out there who maybe, $400 is out of their reach, but they're interested in donating to the Rose in any other way, maybe a smaller amount. Is there a place they can do that on the website, Mandy?
Oh, absolutely. We love any donors of any donation and size. So you can do that online. You can do it through your membership when you join on your order form, or you can just add a donation when you call and book your tickets.
Yes, absolutely. The box office is always happy to help you with that. And do you want to just give them that number too for the box office?
Absolutely. Our box office phone number is 402-345-4849.
And they're there Monday through Friday, most days from 9 to 3?
Yes, right now our box office hours are a little sporadic. We are divided up in groups for meetings and things like that. So most often we have an operator available from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., but we look forward to expanding those hours as we get closer to the show times.
Awesome. Okay. Well, and if there's anything that we didn't cover that people are curious about, or, they get done with this podcast and they think, man, I have a question about such and such, the box office is a good first go-to for those questions, right?
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, here's the real reason why you should become a member. Membership for someone who's never been a member before is $75. Our single tickets are $20. So if you are planning to bring 4 people to a show, that's $80. So for $5 less, you can become a member of the Rose and have access to all of the member shows. So I don't know why anyone is buying a single ticket. At this point, membership is the way to go.
Absolutely. I mean, membership has always been an incredible deal at the Rose, but this year it is off the chain. Great deal. So what you're saying is, man, if you're coming to one, why not get all 4 and save $5 in the process?
Absolutely. Absolutely right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mandy. And if you have any questions about the shows, you can find all of their descriptions on our website. But the very next podcast we'll be doing is actually going to be an interview with Matt Gutchick, the artistic director, and he's going to be giving us a little information about how this season was chosen, kind of the interesting complexities of picking shows for a not so normal season, but he'll also give us a little bit of a rundown of what to expect on stage for those shows. So definitely be looking forward to that in the future. I want to thank you so much again, Mandy, for coming out and doing this podcast with me. And we look forward to seeing everyone who was listening, hopefully out here as members soon.
Thanks, Melissa. I can't wait.